てててててててててててててててておだりんバレンタインデーキスバレンタインデーキス魔法の呪文でシャラララ素敵にキスシャラララだ
無規制配信オバコンスターティ
ス
ーン
ターティン
今週もね
他の人のギャグを全乗っかりした
全乗っかりね楽しいからねスターティンは
このバカチンクレゲスマジ
おい極右のモノマネをするな
高市様卑弥呼さん
今となってはねな感じだよねちょっと待って今音量は結構これ音量低い感じかなということでね今週も始まりました。今週もっていうか先週お休みしてたよね。
そうだね先週は先週は日本列島を襲ったハープの波により配信が狂い放送できなくなった
関の陰謀論ね。
その結果選挙の日大雪が降った
っていう陰謀ね。本当になんか電波がの調子が悪くてうんともすんとも何もつながらなかったっていうのは
そうだね
なんか本当にそうではあったんだけどね。ハープかどうかは知らないけど。で今週は
すべては古代の宇宙人のせいだ
そこまで遡るっていうね。朝栗の初期の頃にそこら辺の話してたよね。
そうだね、おっさんの後をついていこう一回もうループしちゃったから今度はもうおじさんをついていこう
8番出口を今更遊んでるっていうね。
そうだね、それはなぜかっていうとババアの孤独と愛されない出口はどこにもない
愛の出口が見つからないっていうことで8番出口
そう
そうなんだ止まったおじさんを5秒見つめた地味に実績ゲットだな
ゲットだぜ実績ゲットだぜイエイエイエイエイ
今更タウンに
民主主義にさよならバイバイ日本はもうファシストになる
まあ
言論の自由なんてクソくらえみんな自衛隊に怯えていろ
どういう歌だよ語呂悪いし
いつもいつでも言論の自由があるなんて
まあそこら辺はいいね
僕らには特にもないけれど
長いな替え歌がしかも間に間がすごい入ってるしおっさん見つめすぎじゃない絶妙に何人か分かんない感じだな後ろ向きで戻るっていう
逆にね
逆にまあとりあえず今のうちに自己紹介済ませとくこの配信の主が誰なのかと
この配信の主。
多分遊んじゃいけない遊び方してると思うよ。後ろ向きで戻る。
そう、でもなんかこういう風にやると何か起こる可能性もあるんじゃない？
なのかな。なんか違和感があったら戻って何も違和感がなければ進むみたいな感じだったっけ。出口が見つかるまで。それをずっと見つめても変化は起きないと思うよ。
いやなんかチカチカしてたからなんか見てたら起こるかなと思って。
ただのレンズフレアかもね。
お、走れる。走る走る俺たち。
サンプラザ中野くんさんじゃねえかよ。
そうだね。流れ風もそのままに。
声出てなくないこんなに速く走って違和感に気づける？
いやただ
しかも多分30フレームぐらいのゲームで
猛スピードで走ったらなんか起きるかなと思って。
なんか書いてあるね。ご案内見てみたら。
ご案内。異変を見逃さないこと。異変を見つけたらすぐに引き返すこと。異変が見つからなかったら引き返さないこと。8番出口から外に出ること。
今0番ね。
じゃあじゃあ今日はやろうか。
うん。
どうも統一教会創業者文鮮明の妻です。日本のみんなありがとな。お前らの国もらったぜ。チョリース。
日本列島ゲットだぜと。
結局日本の右翼が愛してたのは日本ではなくて統一教会ですから。残念。
意外と右翼が統一教会を日本より愛していた、
あんなに韓国が嫌いなのに韓国のカルトに飲み込まれたな。哀れだなお前ら。
まあ滑稽ではあるよね。
うこっけ。なんか一瞬おっさんがなんか持ってると思ったらスマホを持ってるだけか。
今コメント来ましたね。いつも遊びに来てくださってるね。ミボリにミーボ、我々はミボリ氏と呼んでいるね。デジタルキャットボットという陰謀を立ててねいるんですけど、コメントね、言葉じゃなくて絵文字だけでコメントを残すというね、トリッキーなねお客様、いつもね遊びに来てくださる。今回もね例外なく
トリッキー貴族、
トリッキーキャットね、例外なくねコメントは絵文字だけで表現したコメントを残してくださっているので、口頭でねどういうコメントなのかお伝えしたいと思います。サングラスをかけてる猫となんか万歳をやってる
万歳
ウルフですか、万歳をやっているなんだろうな、マインクラフトに出てくるボクセルっぽい感じのグラフィックのキャラクターが2体と、サングラスをかけてる猫っていうシチュエーションね。 でまあ大体このどういう意味っていうまたゼロに戻ってるな。なんかじゃあ異変あったんだろうな。でまあどういう意味だろうっていうことを考えてそのコメントを解読してそれをプロンプトに変えて、可視化するという遊びをね我々ずっとやってるんですけどね、みぼりさんからもらったコメントを、でまあだからこれをどういう意味なんだろうっていう今から考えてみましょうか。サングラスをかけてる2匹の猫と万歳をしているボクセル調のキャラクター2人、まあボクセル調のキャラクターが2体いるっていうことは多分あれなのかな、マインクラフトの中の世界なのかな。マインクラフトの中で、いいねをいただきましたね。じゃあマインクラフトの世界、この間マインクラフトの映画見たんだけど、やっと割とジェイソン・モモアのキャラクターいい味出してたよね。
そうだね。
ということでマインクラフトの世界の中でボクセル調の、ジェイソン・モモアにそっくりなボクセル調のキャラクターと、あとは誰かな、あとはジャック・ブラック
ジャック・ブラック、ブラック、ジャック・ブラック、ジャック・ブラック。一人きり。
マッチか、関係ねえけどな。今喋ってる。大の字のモノマネ？
それはザコシの誇張しすぎたマッチだよ。
まあ、ジャック・ブラックにそっくりなボクセルのキャラクターがマインクラフトの世界の中で猫たちと万歳をやってるっていうのはどう思う？
万歳をね。
そうなか。
懐かしの。
今カナダに暮らしてるらしいもんね。
あ、そう。
うん。
よう知ってるな。
なんかこの間ヤフーニュースの
そう
ものに出てきて、カナダに住んでるんだって思って。あんまり変わらないよ見た目。
そう。
うん。
まさか子供の血を飲んでるのか。
アドリノクローム。
アドリノクローム。
ね、海外の業界のやばいセレブの人たちがやっているらしいっていうね。このエプスタインファイルが出てマジらしいもんね。
生贄の儀式や
なんか落とした
人食や赤ん坊や子供の血を飲むのはマジで起きていることなんですよ。
らしいね。やべえな。なんか、さっきなんかガッシャンって音が後ろからしたよ。
そう、いや
君音聞こえてる？
音ほぼ聞こえないからちょっと
音上げた方がいいかもね。
そういうふうに言われるとちょっとあれキャー
入ってみるっていう。あれ
オーマイゴッドファーザーコール。
風数や
風数や。
でまあさっき言ってたあれどうもプロンプトとしては
まあよろしいんじゃないでしょうか。
じゃあ一応作ってみるよ。
ミボリ西からはグッドサインが出たんでしょう。
そうだね、
耳グッドが出たんでしょう。
耳グッド全然ウケないギャグね。
そうだね。
誰のギャグだったっけ？
川原だよ。千竺ネズミの
元天竺ネズミの明らかに異変がやべえやつがいるじゃん。
オーマイゴッド
ファーザー降臨ね。後ろ向きで戻らなくてもいいんだと思うよ。多分普通に戻ればいいんじゃない？
もう壁からファックメンが出てきた、ね、
ザコシのギャグね。
ファックメン。
ひたすらライブに行った時にザコシのライブに行くとそのネタ DVD みたいなのもらえたんだけど昔ね、それにファックメンっていうコントが入ってるんだけど、ひたすらファックメンといろんなニュアンスでファックメンと言い続けるって、ドンドンって音がしたな。
それはわしも
扉どんどんなってるよ。
まあ異変に気づいたら戻れって言ってるからね。
っていうコントがあるんだけど、
でもネタの合間にもあったよ。
ブリッジみたいな
なん
感じで、
か公園のベンチに座ってるほぼ裸の男が君何やってるんですか、ちょっとどうしたんですかって言って、ただファックメンって言って何ですかファックメンってただ永遠にそれ言ってちょっとやめなさいみたいな、ファックメン
イかれてるコントね。
ちょっとついてきてもらいますよ、ファックメン
昔ザコシのライブに行くと普通に錦鯉が
そうだね、渡辺さんが錦鯉を存在を知る前に渡辺さんがライブの
回してたよね、MC として
大喜利コーナーの司会をやってたもんね、あとシイラギもね、
シイラギも出てたね。
しかももう荒引き団とかそういうので見てたから、シイラギいるっていう
思ってたもんね。ただ渡辺さんはなんだこのおじさんはって思ってたけどね。
錦鯉を知らなかったから、本当に普通のおじさんが司会をしてるみたいな感じだったからね。まさかその後M1 チャンピオンになるとはね。おい、ゼロに戻ってるやないか。
これ君音がほぼ聞こえない状態で攻略できるゲームではないと思うよ、おそらく。結構音の異変が多いっぽいね。
じゃあもう一瞬画面から消えて音量を爆上げするわ。
その方がいいかもね。その間に俺はプロンプトを入れて画像を生成しておきます。
おやつにほかかお風呂。
なんで？
いや、ただおっさんがこっちを見てる。
異変なのかな、だとすれば。たまたまぶつかっただけ？
いや、普通は歩き続けるよ。
じゃあ異変だよね。じゃあ戻ればいいのかな。
壁から出てたタイル男に近づいたら、ただ画面が真っ暗になるのか、追いかけ始めるのかな。
どうなんだろうね。まあ行ってみることもできるけどね。
おい、
明らかな異変だね。
このあれ気づいたら戻ったら3って書いてある。
あ、本当だ。じゃあその出口の看板まで戻ればいいっていう感じなのか。
そうなので、じゃあなんか変なことあったら戻れば数字が上がるという。
ジェイソン・モモアとジャック・ブラックにそっくりなってやってもブロックされるな、弾かれるな、
ああそう
画像生成で。そこで頭の J モモアと J ブラックにそっくりなってやっても弾かれるな。
じゃあモモとブラックだったら抽象的すぎてなんかできるんだ。成功した。なんか勝ちって落としたから戻ったら4になった。フォー OK バッチコイ。
モモとブラック、モモアとブラックがダメで、モモとブラックは OK だったよ。あ、you've gotten a comment. Saliev says, anomaly detected. Yes.
And that anomaly was me.
What? Okay. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
Been a week since
yeah.
since we had to.
Since the freak accident, yes.
Yeah.
It just it was working perfectly fine, and then it just right before the stream just stopped connecting.
Seems to be working this week so far.
Yeah. But we've heard strange things involving that.
Yeah, some conspiracy theories and stuff with the wireless and Bluetooth connections being kind of wonky around that time. Sally says, yeah, Streamlabs has also been weird with me lately. Didn't grab the stream, but no problem. How are you doing? How are you doing, Jenny?
Well, actually, horrible because Japan has now become a fascist state. There's no future, and it's only a matter of time before armed gunmen will be walking around
like
all of
ICE.
Japan and interrogating and arresting foreigners and sending them to Uganda and foreign countries.
Well, that's jumping the gun a little too far.
But the little woman Hitler that's the prime minister here now sure has a liking to copy anything and everything America does. So
yeah. Well, basically she's Trump's bitch. So
yeah.
Anyway, Sally says, "Oh, really? Are we back to Japanese being superior race and pride of the country again?"
Yep.
Yep. Basically, the square one again.
Yeah. Unshockingly and extremely disappointingly, during the election that took place last week, the people who won and got seats in the government were people who were yelling and screaming in front of stations and public areas, candidates that were like, "I am afraid of black people. They scare me. I do not feel safe when black people are around," and people like yelling and screaming about how there can't be mosques in Japan and that Islamists like need to be eradicated from Japan, and people just saying shit like that, and how foreigners are not welcome, and that we need to stop getting foreigners to even come and visit Japan, kind of shit. And these people got seats in the government, so it seems if your message is hate, you can easily get a seat in the government now.
Well, Salio says, ready to do experiment innocent people to learn how mothers behave when their children are drowning. So exciting. Basically that. Well, it's pretty simple though, like the the person that is kind of has always been So he says, Jesus Christ, how did you turn from a racist country to the most welcoming one back to a racist country again? Yeah, but that's the thing that's kind of bullshit, is that the whole thing with pushing for tourism and trying to get more foreigners into Japan was actually brought that whole bill on changing some of the laws and welcoming people in more foreign workers and stuff was made by Takaichi, the current prime minister's kind of mentor.
Her mentor and the most shallow and evil long-standing prime minister in Japan, Abe, who was amusingly assassinated by an ex-member of the World Family Church,
Unification Church.
Yeah, Unification Church, and amusingly, the current prime minister in Japan is a puppet for that church. So she's a puppet for the church that got her Lord Master killed.
Well, that was responsible for ruining the lives of a person, a young man that.
Well, his whole family.
Yeah, his whole family, and he went after him because he happened to be there, even though he was actually trying to go after one of the high leaders in the Unification Church. So he says, shouldn't that one be staying in her home, raising children, and serving his husband to be an example of her own beliefs? Jesus Christ. Yeah, you'd think so, but she actually doesn't have any children. The only child that she does have is a stepson that it's the son of the person that she married, right?
Remarried.
Yeah. So, whatever. You know. And the weird thing is that when she was young, in her own books that she wrote when she was young, she talked about how she traveled Europe and had sex with so many men, and this is the leader we have right now.
And also, when she was young, she was on TV shows that were sponsored and run by the Unification Church, with a host that was that was a member of the Unification Church.
Yeah, but when people were asking her about like her connections to that church on TV, she was like, "The Church of Unification? Doesn't ring a bell."
I've never heard of them before. Who are these people?
That's a pretty obvious anomaly right there.
Oh shit. Han Solo's there.
So being put in a cryo, one of those, what was a carbon chamber?
Yeah. That is not good.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that currently in Korea, where the church comes from, right? The Korean government isn't as corrupt as the government in Japan, apparently. So they're actually investigating, and they're arresting all these people that had to do with it, and they're going on extensive trials in Korea right now.
Even the founder's wife has been imprisoned, and she's in court right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Salia says it's sad because most of us, when we were young, we dreamed of living in Japan, but nowadays it doesn't seem to be a welcoming place to be anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad because it's just like there are like signs before and like on the internet of radicalization. These like who the fuck are you, like YouTubers like harassing like the Kurdish refugees in Japan, which is extremely embarrassing and disgusting. They're refugees; they have no country to go back to.
Yeah.
And like claiming that these refugees that lost the country that they live in are like trying to take over Japan, when there's just like a couple of hundred of them in all of Japan, which is just insane.
Yeah, Japan notoriously doesn't allow very many refugees in. So it says, I guess as a white guy, it would at least be tolerated. Yeah, it is probably more easier if you're white. It's definitely is because like yeah, like even if you're white, it's kind of hard to rent a house or an apartment here. Anywho, when we were looking for a house before, and we were like talking to the realtors on the phone and stuff, since we can speak perfect Japanese until we said our name. So I said, yeah, it was a joke. What I mean, that's kind of pathetic. Oh yeah, well yeah, that is pretty pathetic. Yeah, I'll just give you another pathetic example of that, a real life experience example of that. But when we were looking for a house like a long time ago, and I was talking to someone on a realtor on the phone. Since we speak Japanese fine without any accents or anything, they thought we were Japanese until we said our name, because part of our name is not Japanese, obviously. So real names, right? And they were like, "Oh, so you're not Japanese, I guess?" And it's like, "Well, yeah, I guess." And they're like, do you happen to be black?" You're like, "No, not black." And he's like, "Oh, that's a relief," kind of thing. But it's like, come on, man. It's like, and so he's like, "Ha ha ha, holy shit." Yeah. It's like,
well, another instance when my sister was on the phone with the realtor asking about a house that she saw, and the same, but in the same context that she said the family name, and the guy was suddenly like, "I'm sorry, but we can't rent to any foreigners, and I don't think anyone will rent a house to you." And it's like, what the fuck?
yeah.
It's like suddenly like decides to go on a full-on racist barb of how foreigners aren't welcome to live in Japan.
Yeah. So it says, "Holy shit!" Here it's the same. If you're a white straight male, they don't want you renting houses. Oh, really? Just like the realtors are like the worst people in the world, huh? So he says, "Couldn't you legally change your last name to your mother's?" Yeah, but actually, one thing that's kind of challenging right there, our entire family could do that, but me, in my real name, me speaking right now, Bourbon, my real name out of all of our the siblings, my siblings, I'm the only one that does not have a first name that is Japanese. So I would be like, yeah, it wouldn't work for me even if I changed my last name.
And unfortunately, the biggest crux is that, as you can kind of see with me talking, that I don't look Japanese, even though I'm part Japanese. I have never, ever, ever been treated as a Japanese. But on a funny note, when I was living in America, I never, ever met a white person that would treat me like a white person, because these white people have a amazing skill to like smell like the Asian blood in me.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you look pretty Asian."
Yeah, it's insane, because living here, people always are like, "Oh, you look so foreign. Like you look like a foreigner. You look like a foreign star," or like as a compliment, or in a far away way, saying like, "Well, you're not one of us, and you're not welcome to mingle with us," kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of.
And then in America, it's like, "Oh, you look so Asian," or like, you don't really look white," or like, what the fuck?
Yeah, sorry for all the ranting, but
Yeah.
a lot of political shit happened last week. So it says, "Yeah, I guess if your name is Harada Albert, it wouldn't still work." Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah. So like even if we changed our last name, then the second we like meet realtors, then suddenly it was like, "Oh my god, I think my schedule has been filled. I need to like go home now," or like that.
Yeah. So it's shit like that is the reason why like Chinese people that live in America have like very, very Western names.
Yeah.
And also Korean people that live in Japan also use Japanese names too because it's tough.
Yeah.
So it says I don't know the statistics, but making all half Japanese not Japanese, wouldn't that be quite a lot of people in a country that's having a problem of not having enough people?
Well, that's one of the really
Yeah.
insane things in that if you come to Japan, you will notice that almost every convenience store, the people working there are foreigners
Yeah.
because Japanese people don't want to work in convenience stores because it's a lot of work.
It's pretty tough. You don't get a lot of pay.
You need to like know how to do the registration for people's like payments and bills. You need to stack up on the inventory that changes every like 6-hour cycles for like food.
Yeah, the convenience stores in Japan, you really can do almost anything. You can pay for your electricity bill, your water bill. You can do payments for Amazon, whatnot. You can do some local government paperwork stuff you can get out into. There's a lot of things you need to memorize to work in a convenience store in Japan.
And people just don't want to do it.
It's pretty it's a hassle to work.
So basically any convenience store you go to, it's either Chinese like
Mideastern,
Indian,
Malaysian, like in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
But they're all so. But what's weird about it is that, like, honestly, I think the service is better with more foreigners working in convenience stores now than when it was mostly Japanese people when I was younger. They're very, very careful.
Yeah, because you can easily be scrutinized, or people can be mean to you, or question like your manner, or like you're not a good employee or like that.
Yeah.
So like you're very careful with people.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but going back, yeah, if people didn't consider multiracial people in Japan, non-Japanese, that would really cut down a fairly good amount of the population here, I guess. So I would think that the situation would make foreigners not being accepted in important positions because they are seen as low-income workers. Yeah, that's basically it. But the thing is that, like, people are like, well, we don't want foreigners to be taking our jobs, and then they expect them to do low-income work. But at the same time, they're like, well, we don't want foreigners here that are so desperate that they're going to take the low-level jobs. We want educated foreigners that are in academics, or that are highly skilled people, kind of thing. It's like, make up your mind, dude.
And then at the same time, it's like foreigners are buying up all the land in Japan. Japanese can't live in Japan anymore because foreigners are buying out houses and buildings and things like that. It's like, then who do you want to live here then? It's like you want wealthy, educated, and successful people, and then you complain that they buy land or have houses in the country, and then you don't want poor people doing the shit jobs that you don't want to.
Yeah. So it says they would be surprised on how many of those store workers have PhDs. Absolutely, and that's the thing. A lot of the foreigners that do low-income jobs in Japan would actually, with the yen being so weak right now, they'd probably get better pay going, like, say, go to Dubai or go to China or even now, like, probably go to Korea and work over there. That you're probably get better paid in those countries than Japan right now. So the foreigners that are here trying to make an honest living, even accepting low income jobs while they're working, like getting a degree in like, say, a university or something, these people are here out of passion. A lot of them, right? Not just for the money. A lot of these people really do want to stay in Japan, and they do want to be accepted, and they try really hard to be accepted. So it really is heartbreaking to see, like, the country going down the drain this much, this quickly. Yeah, it's sad. But there are plenty of people that are genuinely upset about the racists coming out of the closet and, like, trying to control the country too. So he says, I guess it's hard to be accepted in a place that's so socially closed up. Yeah, that too, and also, yeah, Japan has a bad, I don't know, kind of it's as long if you like there's that saying, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure you've heard that saying, but in Japan there's the saying kuki o yomu, reading the room, right, or reading the air, that as long as there is enough of the air or the room that seems like something is or isn't acceptable, a lot of people that are really passive will just follow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are pretty sheep-like,
Yeah.
and good and in a sense, a lot of them are a lot of people are in a way passively racist. It's like, well, if everyone's going to be on that boat, I guess I'll be on that boat kind of thing too. So
well, the thing that really sucks is it follows that, but it's like on a one-to-one basis, it's hard to meet a racist asshole in Japan.
On a one-to-one, it is fairly rare.
And the people in general are decent, but when it becomes a group, then people ignore the problems, and it's like, well, it's not us that's being like getting racist treatment, and the like social narrative is like anti-immigrant. So I don't want to like voice support towards immigrants, or I'll be like the bad guy kind of thing.
Yeah. And I guess some of it also is to people being like, well, I guess if people are so upset about there being so many immigrants, there must be some reason, and some rational reason for it, and try to think of a non-racist reason for it too, and convince themselves in following what everyone's like, the same road that everyone's going down kind of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of different reasons, but yeah. But basically it goes down, but basically it's pretty bland, politics. It basically boils down to kind of what Goebbels was saying, that it's easy to control, the people to go into a war. So he says, do you have crimes and rapes produced by foreigners? We do have them here, but I really doubt you do. That's why I'm asking.
Well, there's a reverse serious problem, that there are problems like that in Okinawa, where the American bases by American troops, but the Japanese government kind of brushes that off and never makes it public. But the locals in Okinawa have very, very low opinions of the American troops in Okinawa, because they like get a free pass for crimes, and especially like rape and sexual crimes that happen in Okinawa.
Yeah. Basically, I was reading about the crime rate for foreigners in Japan versus the crime rate for Japanese people. So it says, yeah, same here. Our government also hides it. But the thing is that it's a very hypocritical situation here, where the rapes caused by American soldiers are brushed under the rug, or they don't make a big fuss about those situations. But if a non-U.S. soldier does that, boy, does the entire media go after the non-U.S. soldiers that there were like rape crimes. It's not very high outside of the U.S. soldiers. The U.S. soldiers stationed in Japan have an alarmingly high rape rate here, especially in Okinawa. But the normal foreigners that are working here, it's actually pretty low. And just specifically crime rate stuff, even the police here was kind of jarred by like the sudden shift in sentiment toward foreigners. And they actually put out statistics showing crime rates for the working force age demographics, which is basically the foreigners that are here, versus the working force Asian Japanese people between 18 and like 50 around, and the crime rate, and it's pretty identical. The crime rate overall in every sector is pretty identical, but just slightly lower with foreigners actually. People that really are trying to be honest, make an honest living here, are very cautious of not being kicked out of the country. So
yeah, it's very if you live here, you know, and I'm sure to an extent this is it's like that in any like probably Asian country that is predominantly people of that country, like say Korea or China, but like
but China is actually pretty multi-ethnic. Since
well,
it's so
yeah,
huge.
well, I understand that, but like it's you become very conscious because people pay attention to you and you can feel it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times, like I know it's not being rude or something, but like for instance, I'm like walking down a road and a woman is in front of me. They'll like look back at me like a few times and like start walking fast. It's like, bitch, please, I am not interested in you. It's like people like are like worried that you're gonna do something or like that.
Obviously, freaky poster.
And like you go in the like a store sometimes, and like the person in the store, like you can tell they're looking at you.
But yeah, that's I guess the same everywhere though.
But like and it's it in a way, of course, it's like an unfortunate given since there are predominantly more Japanese, so people will be cautious towards a foreigner or someone they think is a foreigner. But like you get used to that, and you get the feeling that they're looking at me funny, or like people are suspicious of me. I need to be careful. It's not like I'm gonna like go cause trouble kind of shit. It's not like that living here. You become very conscious about the way people look at you or perceive you or are cautious towards you.
Yeah, but I guess some of that is also fairly cultural. Even Japanese people are pretty cautious on how people look at them too, huh? But it's especially amplified toward foreigners. But yeah, similar things happen. Like for example, in America too. Like in America when we were younger, and our mother was living in America too. Like very frequently when she was paying bills at like a supermarket or a register, people would hold the money up to a light and make sure that it's not fake money, specifically to her, or they would stop her and ask to look inside her bag when she's leaving a supermarket or stuff. Things like that happen very frequently too in America. So yeah, it's just the majority of people always look at the minority of people and in a very straightforward racist manner. I guess some of that is human nature, but I would think that people would know better if they're intelligent.
And it's really sometimes it's just jarring or like just ironic to me because it's like so not easy to live here unless you understand Japanese and you can speak it. It's not like the most multilingual country in the world.
Yeah.
In general, people here have a strong like English phobia and like panic if you talk to them in English. A lot of people, even though you're required to learn English in school, it's like people don't want to use it or don't want to learn it or something.
Yeah, it's really bizarre because English is you have to learn English in Japan, in school in Japan, and almost no one masters it. It's bizarre. It's so strange. Like they study English from like, well, I guess from junior high, I guess,
Yeah.
till they graduate, and very few people are good at all at using it. Weird. So he says, I guess they still see Americans as monsters or something. Well, it's really weird. Like they're they I think a good part of it, a lot of people separate Americans and foreigners. And specifically, I'm specifically talking about white Americans, though. Like, if you're black, it's going to be rough here, probably, no matter where you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black or obviously
Mid-Eastern, if you're tanned, right?
Yeah.
So that so someone from like Southeast Asia also, if you're from Thai and you're a slightly darker hue than other Asians, people will probably look at you that way too. So
it's extremely insulting thinking how much there are like Philippine bars and pubs in Japan.
and yeah, that's a disgusting part of it too. But again, we're just ranting on about the racist people here. There are plenty of people that are genuinely fantastic and kind people, and these are the people that I know and get acquainted with. All the people that I work with, the people in art that I see as a mentor to me, these people are genuinely kind, fantastic, wonderful people that don't think at all that way too. So it's complicated, I guess, but
well, kind of like we stated earlier, the biggest problem is that on a personal level, you don't meet people like that often, but when it's a social thing or the social narrative, there aren't people that go like, no, we're not racist, we're not bad people, we don't think poorly of foreigners or like tourists or like that. People in general do not go against the social grain and stand out.
Oh yeah, well, being vocally racist in public will actually make you stand out, which is also a no-no generally. So yeah, so generally people aren't that way in public.
And I've stated this to you before too, Salyev, but it's like I'm trans and I live like that and like that, but like people do not. I've never even once had a Japanese person like comment or talk to me because of that, and people avoid LGBT people like the plague because talking about it or being vocally accepting about it is like being political, or you're like making some kind of statement, and nobody wants to make like a political statement or anything like that because it stands out, and it's almost like you're saying that you're gay or whatever for acknowledging that people like that exist.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the other thing that might be a problem. People in general here are pretty apolitical. They try not to get involved with politics as much as they can, and they don't speak about politics as much as they can, and they also don't really try to educate themselves in politics. So it's pretty easy to push the narrative in the direction that is that would be a plus for the government, since people really, really try to distance themselves from political discourse in general. So that is also a fairly large part of the problem, I guess. But yeah, again, sorry for the ranting and everything, but just a lot of political shit happened and went down here. Talking about more, I guess, stuff on the bright side. There was the
and now for something completely different.
yeah, something completely different. So there's no worries. You talk about whatever you want. Oh yeah, well this is also something I want to talk about too. I just wanted to hear your opinion on the Monster Hunter Direct that there was yesterday. I was or 2 days ago. I was relieved to see that they did announce that they will have an expansion for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah. So much people were questioning if they'd have a DLC expansion in a new area or not, that they actually had to announce it ahead of showing it.
They're like, "Don't worry, yeah, we're working on an expansion.
Yeah, we're gonna support it. So like buy the game, please."
Yeah, and Sawyer says, "Yeah, apparently it works flawlessly on PC now." Yeah, I heard that too. It's finally getting good reviews on Steam now. Apparently, I played on console, so I don't know, but finally from people that from some of my other gamer friends that play on PC, I have seen people. I have seen them say that they finally are being able to get it stably play it on PC, so that's nice. Also, I'm well again, like I said, I'm looking forward to see what kind of expansion is going to be added to Wilds. Is there any kind of like biome that you would want them to add in the expansion, Saliev? Personally, I kind of would like to see maybe some ocean, beach, or kind of that kind of area. Maybe maybe have some more water-based battles. That would be kind of interesting. So he says, I don't know. They added every biome, so I don't know. Yeah, the Wilds does have a lot of biomes in it, so maybe ocean area. That might be kind of fun.
Well, they could actually add like the Kamura area.
Oh, that would be great.
that would be fun.
Being able to go to the Kamura islands,
having an Oriental area. The biggest minus of Rise was that it was on the Switch, so the graphics were lacking on it.
Yeah, it would be nice to see how they would pull off the Kamura area and the full Monster Hunter game running on the on the RE engine, huh?
Yeah.
So he says, I think I am the only idiot who liked the tower defense hunts.
Actually, in Rise,
I think those were. I didn't play Rise too much. I should probably get back into it, but I saw Jenny playing it an awful lot. I thought those looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm still about like 15 short of getting the achievement for doing 50 of those defense ones.
Mm-hmm. It would definitely add variety to the gameplay mechanics. I guess the different ways you can play the game by adding a mode like that with an expansion. Also, you're perpetually wandering around and getting back to 0.
Yeah, I've gotten up to about 5 and 6, but like missed something and it goes back.
So it says I love those. Yeah, I think that would be a good addition to Wilds. I think it would be fun to have in the game, huh?
To have what?
The tower defense, like hunts.
Yeah. If, I didn't really have a problem with them. Yeah. It would probably be interesting. I assume that in general people didn't really like it, so they didn't think of putting it in the current one.
But if it was in an expansion, I think that might be doable.
Possibly, yeah.
Because probably the more hardcore Monster Hunter fans would buy the expansion. So being able to appeal to a wider core base, right?
Yeah.
Would probably help the sales. I don't think it would make the sales poorer by adding some quests and mechanics that are more kind of, niche.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm definitely gonna try to get that Mirror Ball Saturday like
Saturday Night Fever
cat. Like cat costume for the Palicos. That one that's in collaboration with Monster Hunter Stories is kind of bizarre, huh?
The
toon shading with
toon shaded cat.
Yeah. It is fun though, I guess. Back to zero again.
Yeah. Thought I heard a click, so I had it.
Oh, well, that's definitely an anomaly.
Yeah. It's definitely not okay. It would be nice if they were about that obvious. Some of the ones are like really subtle.
Yeah. So I said, sorry, my mother was talking to you. Oh, no problems.
Most definitely just be wandering around. So.
Mm-hmm. So it says, I do think they will include the white Lagiacrus on the expansion. Ah, yeah. That would be cool. So he says, I need more Lagiacrus. I'm sure there's a good amount of Monster Hunter. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of hunters out there that feel the same. Huh.
Yeah. Well, in general, if they add, obviously the lights are weird. It's crooked.
And it's trying to lie to you by saying the 8 exit A's right there. What were you saying?
Normally, if they add a monster, when they add the expansion, they add the like higher grade versions of them in it too. So, I would expect that there'd be like the variant arch tempered type ones. Since it was only added in Rise, I would expect maybe in the DL one they'll have Magna Malo, was it, in the English one?
Which one is that one?
The main boss one in Rise.
Oh, the main boss one.
The Rise. Purple lion
that floating, beast. Flying purple lion thing.
Yeah,
that was a pretty cool design.
I would expect they'd add that with the expansion, since it's a recent one. Well, I guess it wasn't in Rise, and it wasn't in. Damn it! What did I miss? It wasn't in Rise, and it wasn't in the base version of Wilds. They could add Nergigante in it again.
Yeah. Heard a click, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that too. It still just says 0. Made that sound again though, huh?
Maybe that's normal though, and you just didn't notice before.
If it says 0, I'm gonna be pissed. It does say 0.
It does say 0.
Well, what the hell? I heard that and I headed back and it said 0 when I went back. Do I need to hear the click again and then head back?
Maybe. Yeah, there is a click here once. Okay, so I guess that's normal. Oh, that moved. Well, that's pretty obvious. So he says, moving ads would be annoying as fuck. Yes, they would be. I guess smartphones are kind of like moving ads now.
Yeah, basically.
Since the internet is like basically an entire ad. Now.
Clearly heard a click that time.
Was that the first click or the second click?
It was pretty in the middle when it made a click sound. The fuck? What?
Doesn't have to do with like biomes, but hearing from Saliev that you could use a Palico as a character that you can control in one of the Monster Hunters. Was it the one? Was it the fourth one? On the 3DS, was it? I would love them to add that to the expansion if they could.
Yeah, that would be pretty entertaining. Now instead of having hunters join your fight, you can have a bunch of Moriburs join the fight, if that's what they're called in the English version.
Yeah, but
the forest Policos.
Yeah, but I'm confident if they added Policos as playable characters in an expansion, that people would buy that so much. Because I mean, come on, like Overwatch added Jetpack Cat, and it had the highest concurrent users like forever. Recently it actually surpassed Marvel Rivals in concurrent users after they announced the characters they're going to add and the added stuff, and especially with the Jetpack Cat becoming like all over the place and like people making memes out of it and stuff. It actually makes me want to play Overwatch, although I've never played Overwatch.
It's pretty damn freaky when there's like the shining people just standing in the back there.
So it says, yeah, especially that now it's not Overwatch 2 anymore. Yeah. Again, that was like, I think that's one of the dumbest fucking things I've seen in into game industry.
Yeah. No,
Go from Overwatch to Overwatch 2 and then back to Overwatch.
Yeah. It made me laugh so hard that in Taika Waititi's Free Guy movie that he was like so like making fun of that in the movie. Like, we're gonna make it 2, and we're gonna like make everything you paid for and did meaningless in 2. It's like, but the game works perfectly fine. I don't care. It needs to be 2 because it sounds like it's new again.
We can sell it again.
Yeah. The whoever thought of that was like
Whoever wrote that.
dumbest idea ever. The making it Overwatch 2.
Yeah, whoever was the staff in the writing room that came up with that line knows the game industry well.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that writer was a former writer that worked in the game industry before.
Possibly.
A lot of them did leave the game industry, so. Back to 0 again.
Hate it when it's like I don't notice what it is. Don't make it that subtle.
But then again, I guess if they made it too easy, that people would finish the game in like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah. I swear I heard a click, but it didn't look like anything was different. Damn it!
I guess you did hear the click then.
It's just sometimes when I go back, when I hear a click, it just says 0 again.
Okay, so click it around this area seems like it's normal. Salio says speed runs of this game are insane. Oh, really?
Well,
I guess if you memorize like every single pattern, you can finish it right away then, huh?
Well, you'd have to know all the different patterns of what could possibly be wrong because it's obviously randomized, so there's no way that you can just do it exactly the same way every time. Is that a click?
I think so.
Something did change. It is 2 now. Again, I heard a click.
Every time I see a no smoking sign in Japan, I always remember the no smoking sign that I saw in Skytree, actually, a very proper facility that just says that was very close to not being wrong. It said no smorking. And for some reason, that was just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is smorking? Whatever it is, it's prohibited here. No smorking here.
Smorking. Yeah,
So it says, are there game overs in this one?
I don't know if there's a game over. One time when I was walking, one of the doors were open, and I just tried going in it, and then the screen turned black, and I was just standing in the road. So I suppose it's an eternal loop unless you get to number 8. Damn it! What did I miss?
So it says, do you plan on streaming Resident Evil Requiem, by the way? Actually, probably not, because it's like a couple of games came out about the same timing that you have to pick up full price, and thinking of maybe getting Monster Hunter Stories, the deluxe edition of that. So I'm not sure if I'll pick up that day one yet. I don't know. For fun, you could you could try streaming Resident Evil RE4. Sally says, "I'm sure Stories 3 will be an awesome game." Yeah, I was. Requiem looks awesome too, but I've been very impressed with what I've seen of Stories 3 so far. So, was thinking of maybe we picked up the Yakuza 3, Dark Ties Deluxe Edition.
The guy's smiling.
There's definitely an anomaly. A couple other games. So probably around the same time, since that's being released about the same time, I was kind of contemplating juggling between Resident Evil Requiem and Stories. So.
Damn it! I even need to pay attention to the guy.
Yeah. So he says, "Yep, gotta repopulate the monster biome so we can kill them in Wilds expansion." Isn't he huge?
Yeah, I'm like a midget compared to him. Yeah. What's the deal with the anomalies with the guy?
Oh, they're a little bit more entertaining than the other anomalies, though.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is obviously
Normal size, though.
No, this time he's tiny.
That would be funny.
He looks normal.
Looks pretty normal.
Well, that's something I didn't notice, that there are weird things with the guy. Well, actually, there was one time it...
Oh, that's an anomaly.
Yeah. There's that one time the guy just bumped into me and just froze. Oh, that was creepy. It's like that harassment phenomenon that happens in Japan that you were talking about, the shoulder bump guy.
Oh, the guys that bump into you.
That intentionally bumps into women with his shoulder and just keeps walking on.
Actually, the person who made this game might have made that, the guy bumping into you, an older guy bumping into you, he might have made that as a joke toward that, maybe as a reference toward that. There is this weird thing where old men continue to bump into women on purpose.
It's like
just to be like passively aggressive, I guess.
I think it's the most lightest form of sexual harassment.
Yeah, it might be.
It's like if I touch her, it's harassment, but if I just bump into her with my shoulder, then my shoulder will touch her, but I won't physically be touching her, so it'll be okay, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, 5. Just 3 more.
I guess be extra cautious then.
Yeah.
So he says, good thing none of those old men were rugby players then. Yeah, that would be pretty...
You get seriously injured.
Yeah. Seems to be normal.
Japan has a very high population of people who did play rugby, so
Actually, yeah, it's pretty popular over here, huh? Generally, team sports are pretty popular over here, huh?
yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's the same everywhere, huh? I feel like I'm one of the few people that don't really care too much for sports.
I'm like one of the most weirdest people, and like I don't watch baseball, but I do like to watch the news about baseball.
Ah, damn.
Shit. What was wrong? I don't watch baseball, but I do enjoy hearing the stuff of
Highlights and updates.
how like Otani Shohei like made a world record and like hit so and so amount of home runs and things like that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the thing. I respect and admire the sportsmanship in sports, in any sports for that matter. But yeah, I generally wouldn't really like sit through an entire sports match that takes you like 3 or 4 hours to watch. I know that's the whole thing, but
But strangely, the baseball highlights is like the only thing I think of that, and I don't know if it would offend you, Saliev, but I like really am not interested in soccer. I know a lot of European people are extremely passionate about soccer, so that might seem extremely offensive.
Sawyer says, I love tennis, but I can't get myself to watch an entire 6-set game. Oh, well, tennis is pretty entertaining to watch, huh? A lot of technique and a lot of actually thought goes into, like, a match. But yeah, it can get fairly long sometimes. So as I like to play soccer, I suck at it, but I don't get the passion people have for it, and I hate watching it. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. A lot of sports seems like it would be fun to play, but I don't really get much of a kick out of it watching. About the only sports that I did enjoy watching was actually like I guess like boxing, mixed martial arts, stuff, karate, judo, things that are more one-on-one type of sports. Yeah. Those I actually kind of enjoy watching.
Yeah, the early mixed martial arts in Japan was very entertaining and interesting, but the current stuff is just pure garbage and shit.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's just like ex-convicts that like argue with each other and like do staged like arguments and like a pre-match brawling and like amateurs like fighting each other, and it's just like it's an embarrassment to what the mixed martial arts was in the early years.
Yeah, it's basically like I guess like the WWE or something. It's mostly just like mic performances by like degenerates that former convicts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm not saying that the people in WWE are like that. Just get So I said soccer nowadays is extremely politicized. Well, yeah. I guess that might be the other thing that kind of turns me off about a lot of sports. A lot of it is politicized, and that is kind of unsettling to me.
Yeah.
Even the Olympics are kind of are so in a way like the entire Olympics are like is governments taking advantage of sports.
It's genuinely disgusting and insulting that they disqualified that Ukrainian bobsled person because he wore a tribute helmet to the people that were killed, and yet
the anomaly. Look at the guy's face.
Holy shit.
But they allow Israel to.
Yeah, but they allow a country that is still causing a genocide to be there.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So I guess that's the other thing that kind of puts me off about a lot of sports nowadays. Yeah, so I know how
Shit.
you I get how you feel about
Biohazard shit happening.
right. Black goo oozing
Yeah.
out of the vents.
It's like the adrenochrome, that shit that comes out in the Epstein files.
Yeah. So it says the mold from RE7 and 8.
I would appreciate if the anomalies were that clear.
Obvious, huh?
Yeah. Guy looks normal. The ads seem normal. I'm gonna be so pissed if it says 0. I guess I also need to be careful if the sign is all right.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, it says 3. Good. Yeah, and for a lot of sports, I just cannot be interested in because there's those kinds of things clearly, and it's just kind of disgusting. And I probably could never find soccer interesting either because it is so much money and like political things.
Yeah.
Not good political things like people taking a stand for things, but like money things.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's about the sport anymore. Yeah, exactly.
It's like how they'll do the World Cup in Dubai where it's like 60 degrees because the royal family paid FIFA like $1 billion to do it in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's like in no way is it a good idea to have an outdoor sporting event in a place that is so insanely hot.
Not for the players or the people watching too.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like also, the Tokyo Olympics, the last Olympics in Tokyo too. It's like Tokyo is freaking hot in the summer.
Yeah.
And it's really humid. So like the people in the triathlons were like puking all over the place because they were pushing themselves to the limits in the humidity and heat.
And I'm sure you don't know this, Saliev, but Tokyo Bay is extremely filthy.
Yeah.
The athletes were throwing up because the water was so dirty.
Yeah. It smelled like a toilet apparently when they were swimming, and yeah. They tried to clean it up before the Olympics, but they didn't.
Shit!
Oh.
What did I possibly miss? Damn it. This game is actually pretty damn hard.
Mm-hmm.
It would be insane if someone could speed run this by running and get it right in one shot. You really would have to be able to tell the second you stand right there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't have the confidence I'll be able to get to the exit within the time of doing this. What?
0 again.
How? I didn't see anything that seemed off. Do I even need to look at the cameras too?
Maybe.
To see how many there are?
Well, Sayo says the world record is by a Japanese player, Keima, in 1 minute and 3 seconds. Wow, that is fast.
Well, he basically had to just run like this and then like turn around right away and run back and like that.
Yeah, I guess. And I guess with 1 minute and 3 seconds, I guess luck probably also has to do with it too. Well, obviously.
Yeah, duh.
It would be nice if it was a little more obvious.
Yeah.
Like
I really could have used it if it was like that when I was up
at
to
7.
6.
Oh, yeah, at 6. So he says, don't go to the light.
It's like that song, Blinded by the Light. Cut loose like a goose, another roller in the night. That's supposed to be the right lyrics, but I have no idea what being cut loose like a goose and a roller in the night means.
Looks pretty normal so far.
Seems to be. Is that a click? Oh, no, it was okay. 3.
So he says, maybe it's the evil goose from that goose game. Maybe.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty fun game, huh?
Yeah. It was actually pretty entertaining to piss people off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be cautious if the guy is weird or he's like smiling or something. I didn't seem to see anything weird. Do I actually have to pay attention to the sign to see if the sign says it's a wrong area or not?
Maybe.
Damn it. It might be so. Oh, I was okay. 4. No, please be easy ones 4 times in a row.
That would be nice.
No smoking. Exit 8. Posters seem normal. The guy seems normal. Could these be like switched sometimes?
Well, there was the one that was rattling before.
Yeah. No, you look closely and it says no smorking.
Smorking.
The person who made this game would have had to seen that sign in the sky. What?
Missed something then, I guess.
What? Damn it. Are these signs mixed up sometimes?
Probably.
I've seen, whenever there was a sign I didn't remember seeing before I turned around. Damn it. Well, I need to pay attention to these things too then. Okay, that was okay.
Dude seems okay.
Haven't seen the tile Han Solo for a while.
うん。
Now, if it said 0 with that, I would have been really pissed looking that carefully.
So it says, I'm at the phone with my sister. No problem. Go ahead and you don't have to. You can go ahead and push mute.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Jenny will probably still be wandering around. So.
Seems like nothing was wrong. Ha? 嘘やろ。一体何を見過ごした？なんかあった？見過ごすようなもの。
さあ。
だいぶちゃんと見たんだけど。
8が逆さになってる。
あ、本当だ。やっぱそういうのもあるんか。やっぱ看板もうちゃんと見なきゃいけないのか。ここのやつも時々変なのか。
かもね。
確かに8番出口。タバコは上向きなのが正解だから、一応そのタバコも下向きかどうかも注意してみなきゃいけないな。上向き出口おっさん普通。ここのダクトも足りない時とかあるのかな。
かもね。
じゃあダクトが2個ある。ドアも3つ。あれは動いていない。タバコも上向き。はあ？一体何を見過ごしたんだ？あんまり突っ立ってるとダメなのか、それも。
そんなことはないと思うけど。
はあ？今のも何が
時短でさ、最初の1回はとりあえず1に変わるまで走り続けたら
時短で
ああい
高確率で1回は
うん
大丈夫なはずだけど、
で2回目からはっていうね。
これもダクトが2つ運営おっさんポスターも普通。
そこの横のやつは消火器が入ってるやつがたまにおかしくなってることはあるのかな。
これ
うん
清掃所従業員室。おい今の何がダメだったのか全くわからなかった。連続でゼロ。今勝ちってなった。
なったね。でもその勝ちが何回なるのが普通なんだろ
ダメかい。なんかおっさんがこっちを見てきてたな。あ、やっぱり。
う。なんとなくおっさんに注目されるも変化ということなんだな。
とりあえず2になってくれたな。出口しかアルバイトペットショップ小便時おっさんダクト2つ。3。 おっさんは別に普通だった。今何が間違ってた？
なんか必ず見落としてるものが一つあるみたいだな。その今どこ間違ってたっていうその間違いの一つを見落としてるっぽいね。おっさんの靴の色の違いとか。
そこまでになったらもうどうしようもないわ。
消火器のやつは全く変化がないのはおかしいと思うけどな。
なんもなかったよね。それもいたって普通だし。
階段だね。
あれこれはダメなのか、もしかして。
ダメでしょ。明らかに違うじゃん。
トリックっていう、出れると思わせてダメだっていうパターン。まあ正しかったな。ノースモーキング。そうさ、普通、これもそう。これも別に普通みたいだし。
マジか。
嘘だろ。本当何それ？何が間違ってるの？一応ここで一個一個ちゃんと見なきゃいけないの？何にもなさそうな場合、書いてあることも違うの？
さすがにそれはどうなんだろうな。
分電室、これが2個。いつも最後にフェスのやつがあって、この目のやつがあって、 また何にもおかしくないように見えたのでダメだったな。意味がわからない。
今一瞬バグったように見えるけど、それもそうなのかな。ああ、それもそうだったみたいだな。
それもそうだった。そういうのもあるの。
壁が一瞬バグる。それだったら多分右側の壁とか左側の壁をじっと見てて、どっちかの壁が一瞬変になるのを気づかないみたいなのある言えるな。
こうやって一応立ち止まって左右見たりしなきゃいけないの。
So it says, sorry, I'm back. Welcome back. No rush, just making loops and loops.
Yeah, I keep messing up when there seems to be
Oh.
what? So something that keeps happening that that is like so subtle, I just cannot figure it out.
Probably you shouldn't move forward while you're looking at one side of the wall. Probably. No, don't do that. Only move when you're looking straight forward. Look to the left and right when you're stopping, probably.
That keeps happening. I have no idea what is wrong, and yet it says 0. I've like looked all over the place to see like what could possibly be different or wrong, and I keep bumping into the ones that just take me back to 0. At the time, like the eyes are moving on these ones too.
I don't know.
I guess I'll just give it two more tries then. I'm starting to feel like I'll never be able to reach it, because there's like something that's like so subtle, I keep missing it.
Well, probably until you have a good idea of where what happens and you remember a large amount of the patterns. Probably moving the camera around a lot in first person, you might miss some stuff. There was that one time when you saw that the wall just glitched for a split second. Maybe some things like that happen when you're not looking at it. So it says this is one of those where you need to memorize every anomaly. Yeah, definitely.
That was okay. The thing that's the most annoying is when nothing is wrong.
Yeah, but obviously something was off, so.
Yeah. Well, it just looks like nothing is wrong. didn't seem like anything was wrong. I'm gonna be pissed if it says 0.
Damn it. Okay, well then one last time then.
Yeah. This is gonna take forever. I was like sure there was nothing wrong with that one. Are these like vents on the top in different places sometimes?
Well, it's probably a possibility.
I'll laugh if I walk there and it says 0. No, it said 1, so.
So I said, isn't the guy smaller?
Was he?
Might have been. Oh, yeah, you were right. Good eye. He does seem a little bit smaller, huh? Now
Yeah.
maybe, no, once in a while he's carrying a Galaxy or an iPhone.
Well, then I'm screwed. See the normal size?
Seems like it. Oh!
Wait, no, will I still be able to do it if I go back right now?
I don't think so. So, I guess that's it for this week then.
Yeah.
Well, this is probably one of those ones where you really want to memorize as many, or basically all the anomalies, and then stream after that. The memorizing each pattern process probably takes a good amount of time before you can run through it fairly fast.
Yeah. Seems like that's just the case. Well, like my being trapped in the maze of being eternally alone. It looks like even within a game, I just will never be able to escape the solitude.
Oh, the old guy's there in the game. So it says, "Got to break the world record."
I'll just run and see if it works while
Once.
you're closing. While you're closing, if I get to 8, just running, then
Just running. That would be pretty
hilarious.
funny. Oh, 0. Okay. Well, thanks, Salia, for dropping by. It's always nice to hear from you. Always
Thank
a
you.
good chat.
Yeah.
And thanks, Meebo Rainy Meebo, for coming by too. We always enjoy your kooky cat bot comments. So he says, my pleasure as always. Take care. You too. Have a great day and have a great weekend, a great week. Hope to see you next week. And I'll be closing in Japanese now. ということでね、今週はここまでということなんですけど、まあ進むようで進まないようで、まあ、一応6まではいけたね。結構近かったね、6まで行って。うん、まあ
なんか常に何かを見過ごして戻らされるという、
まあなんかこれを繰り返してると多分ゲシュタルト崩壊してくるみたいなのもあるんだろうしね。
まあね。
まあということでね、まあ今週はここまで。多分来週は違うものを遊ぶよね。
まあでしょうね。
ということでね、まあこんな感じで毎週ダラダラ配信しております。ツイッチでね、毎週、金曜0時ぐらいには配信しておりますので、よければ誰でもウェルカムなので
配信でダラダラ行かせて。
生だハイダラ、ハイダラ。ということでね、過去の配信の分はね、ジェニーのちゃんと自己紹介してなかったよね。ジェニーのね、過去の配信の分はアーカイブとして YouTube に載せておりますので、よければね、YouTube の検索バーをクリックして zGennyy で検索しますとジェニーが一発で出てきますので、いいね、読者登録、通知オンにしてくださると我々喜びます。ということで、またその日まで良い1週間をお過ごしください。それでは、またのご視聴。ではでは、See you!
バイバイ